In walking with God is either total obedience or total disobedience. In God's agenda, there is nothing like half obedience. So when God gives you an instruction, it's either you do it 100% or you didn't do it. Let me give you an example. If God tells you to travel to Canada today and you travel tomorrow, in God's record, you didn't travel. Let me give you the illustration again, because I want you to get what I'm saying. If God tells you to travel to Canada today and you didn't travel today, now before he gave you the instruction, he knew that you have what it takes to travel. He knew you, because God will not tell you to do something he has not empowered you to do. Before God gives you any instruction, he already empowered you to take the action. Now when God tells you travel to Canada today and you delayed and then tomorrow you traveled, in God's record it is total disobedience. So it's either absolute obedience or absolute disobedience with God. Now I want to talk to you today about the dangers of plan B. The dangers of plan B. Now, when you are walking with God, you got to understand that God is a perfect God. And because God is a perfect God, he does not condone errors. God does not condone errors. And there is one thing God really hates is disobedience. Disobedience. I'm going to point out some things that probably will sound critical to some of you. It might sound critical, but I picked these things from my personal devotions, and I hope that you'll see it from that light too. Now, when God spoke to Moses and God told Moses, go to Pharaoh and speak to him and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Moses told God, I am a stammerer. I'm short of speech. I cannot speak. Moses couldn't speak. And God told him, when you read that scripture, God told Moses, as a question, he said to him, who created the mouth? Who created the mouth? I will give you the word to speak. Go to Pharaoh and speak to him. Let my people go. And Moses argued God. And Moses said to God, why not send somebody with me to be my spokesman? Now, when you read that scripture, the Bible says that the anger of God burned against Moses. Moses was willing to go for a plan B in God's agenda. Now, when you study, the story of the Jews in the wilderness, you observe that after some time, Aaron betrayed Moses. Aaron betrayed Moses. God did not want Aaron to go with Moses. It was never the original plan. The plan A was not Aaron. Aaron was not supposed to go with him. God said to him, I created the mouth. I will tell you what to say. I will give you the ability to speak when you get to Pharaoh. The Bible said, open your mouth and I will fill it. Don't even think of what to say. When you get there, I will give you what to say. The dangers of plan B. At the end of the day, Moses did not enter the promised land because he was angry. And when you trace that anger, I can tell you, Aaron was the cause. The murmuring of the people of Jews. Another person in the Bible was Abraham. The wife of Abraham told him, sleep with my housemaid and have a child with her, since I cannot have a child. And Abraham did that. But something happened. God told Abraham, I will give you a child. The covenant child is not Ishmael, the son of your housemaid. The covenant child will be Isaac, the one that will come out of your loins. And the Bible said that Abraham prayed and he pleaded with God. Abraham said, may Ishmael live before you. Read that scripture. Abraham told God, may Ishmael live before you. The Bible said that God accepted the prayer. God said, okay, I accept what you said. Today the world is suffering pains of Ishmael. Sorry for that interruption. So, the world is suffering because of the mistake of Abraham. Yes, we have the blessings of Abraham, and that is fine. But there is something happening in the world today because of the mistake of Abraham. And let me tell you something. God was going to take the life of Ishmael. You remember the child that David had with Bathsheba out of sin, God killed the child. For a reason, God killed the child so Solomon could be the heir. So let me tell you something. Anything that you produce out of plan B will give you problems in the future. Anything that you produce out of God's plan, outside of God's plan, it will not last and it will cause pain. The tribe of Ishmael is still causing pain today in the world. There is somebody else, I like to draw illustrations from the Bible. Ananias and Sapphira in Acts of Apostles, the apostles and, they were selling their properties, their lands, and they were bringing the money to church. So these men, Ananias and Sapphira, they sold their property, I think the piece of land, and they shared the money into two, and they kept some for themselves, and they brought some. And the man of God, asked them, I think Peter asked them, is this what you have from selling the property? They said, yes, this is all we had. The Bible said the Spirit of God struck them dead. They died. Never have a plan B if you want God's plan A. If you want God's plan A in whatever you're doing, never keep a plan B by the side. It is either absolute obedience or total disobedience. God spoke to Samuel and he told Samuel, go to Saul and tell him to go to a certain land and destroy the land, utterly destroy everything in the land, never come back with anything. The Bible said as Saul went there, King Saul went, he brought back the sheep, the best of sheep and oxen, and the king, King Ahab, and he lost his throne because of that disobedience. I want you to pay attention. Let me talk to you. Whatever you are doing in life and you have a plan B, don't expect God to step into it. Let me repeat. Whatever step you are taking in life and you already have another plan by the side for yourself, you entered into a relationship and you are telling yourself, let me have another sister by the side in case this one doesn't work. Automatically, none will work. Whatever you are doing in life, you're about to start a business and God spoke to you about a business. Now, I believe in divine direction. If God spoke to you, of course, you should seek the face of God. If God spoke to you about the business and gave you the idea, don't have plan B. You don't need plan B. If you want God's plan A, don't have a plan B by the side. Never tell yourself, let me keep this by the side in case if this doesn't work. That is not wisdom. That is why you need absolute divine direction. You need to hear God clear. Now, when you hear God clear, go for it. I better fail obeying God than succeed disobeying Him. It is better for me to fail in life obeying God, and I've taken some very aggressive decisions as a young man. There are things I vowed. I told God, if I do this, take my life. Instead of me to do this, take my life. There's no two ways about it. It is either total obedience or total disobedience with God. And because of that decision, it is very fast for me to get a divine intervention. It's very like this. It's so easy for me to hear God. It's so easy for me to get a divine intervention. And let me say this, and I say it humbly. It's so easy for God to answer my prayers. I've never prayed a prayer God didn't answer. I have never prayed a prayer in my life that God didn't answer. I can't remember. Why? Because I follow God with an abandoned obedience. I tell God, it's either you or nothing. I don't care the consequence. If you tell me to do it, I do. I don't care the consequence. If you want God's plan A, destroy your plan B. Because the moment there's a plan B, God will step out of the way and nothing will work. Faith is absolute obedience. Is either God or is not God. It is either 100% obedience or no obedience. I just wanted to share that word with you. Anything you birth or produce out of a plan B will not last, and it will cause pain in your life. God bless you. I love you. My name is Emmanuel, and this is The Secret Place TV.